Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Was the Ultimate Saiyan. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, I post a brand new episode over on Anime King 2 of What If Naruto Was in Prison and sealed away for 18 years. So go ahead and check out that guys and enjoy. And remember, for anyone this is the first time hearing my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, Naruto came face to face with Riga as he was heading back to Konoha, as he was saving Samui, a girl from the village hidden in the clouds. As Naruto stood there as Riga attacked him, Riga was obsessed with giving people funerals. The man was, well, that was his MO. As the both of them fought, as Naruto soon come to realize that the man relied on his blades too much. As Naruto delivered some well-toned strikes to the man's body, Riga felt immense pain as he coughed up blood, unsure how this kid was so strong. As Naruto then proceeded to put him in his place, as Riga stood no chance to the point where Naruto humiliated by appearing in front of him and poked 2 fingers in his forehead and told him to go and train, and when he gets stronger he must challenge him again. Riga lost it. He was violent, he was pissed off. He completely lost his edge as he attacked Naruto with everything. Samui was caught up in the blast as Naruto shouted at Riga. As Naruto released 2 energy blasts that consumed the man completely, rendering him to dust. It was then that Yugito arrived on the scene. She was coming to protect her Jenny as they had gotten split up. She attacked Naruto as she thought that he was the enemy, seeing that he was leaning over towards Samui. As Naruto ended up reaching and grabbing her hand as he spun her away, she launched herself back towards him, but Samui jumped in the way and told her to calm down, that he was not the enemy. As she asked for his name, as Naruto told her that he was Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. As they asked where he was from, he told them that if they meet up again he would tell her. With that he made his way off, as the rest of the team with Amoy and Karu caught up, but Naruto was already long gone. As the name Namikaze sounds so familiar to Yugito, it then struck her. It couldn't be, she thought to herself, as she had to find out though. With that, as Naruto was looking towards Konoha, or the direction, he decided to see how fast he has gotten, as he put in all of his speed even with his training with, to see how fast he was in this state as he moved. As Naruto took a couple of hours, a trip that was supposed to take days, but he took hours as the envoys cut him off before he could reach the village though, as they saw the cloud of dust coming. As Naruto stopped as he apologized. He didn't mean to scare them. Seeing who he was, they allowed him entrance in the village. As Naruto greeted Katetsu and Izumo, with that he made his way. He was gonna go straight to the academy first, but school was not out yet as he made his way towards Ichiraku Ramen as Kakashi came down to sit with him, as it's been a long while. As he told Kakashi that he was going to have a test with his sensei to see how strong he has gotten, as Kakashi told him that he would be there, as Naruto left the man to the bill as he made his way. When Mito finally reunited with her brother, she was so happy as Naruto ended up tossing her in the air. But his strength was a bit more than he expected as he tossed her high up, but he caught her though, as he reported to Hiruzen. When Naruto found out that there was another Hyuga on his team, he was rather pissed off as Hiruzen would not take her off. As the Chunin exams were coming up very soon, she will just have to pass the exams. Well, Naruto would pass. When the day finally came, as Naruto and others met up, as he met Neri, realized that she was the one that he met at school that came for Hinata. As they had a little spat between them, Kakashi was also there as Guy showed up. Guy was burning with the flames of youth as he said, as Naruto dropped into his stance as he was ready to show his sensei all that he has learned. As everyone could feel the rising power and tension in the air, the place started to tremble a bit as both men dropped in their stance, as it was time to begin. So yeah guys, those basically as what left off. You guys can switch across the place, check out for yourself. So this will be in this new episode. A single leaf fell from a tree. As unknown to that very leaf, it was gonna be starting a rather devastating clash. As a leaf fell between the two men who had their eyes trained on it. The moment they saw it fell, the ground moved. Because both men pushed forward, their speed was far from anything normal as they reached each other within seconds. The first thing to collide was their fists. A tiny shockwave was released upon impact. Guy, smile increased as he felt the power that Naruto exuded on that punch. As he could tell that Naruto has gotten stronger, but this was a lot more than he expected. As the both of them jumped back, before launching themselves towards each other once again. As Guy sent several jabs towards Naruto. To Guy's surprise, he watched as Naruto easily evaded them with his newfound speed. Both men started tussle for a while, but everyone could tell that they were just getting warmed up. Over to the side, Mito had a big grin on her face. Hinata was astonished at how fast Naruto has gotten. She had seen him train before. Sasuke had his attention all on the match, as he was surprised what taijutsu could show. On the other hand, as Neri narrowed her eyes, she was told by, well, the members of the team that Naruto was strong. A brute he was, but his physical strength was impressive. As Neji also noticed a great increase as well, but he could tell that Naruto was still holding back, while Guy Sensei was too as well. Over to the side, Hiruzen was watching, as Kakashi was standing beside him as he had jumped down to the fray. Seems he has gotten a lot stronger, Hokage-sama. Say Kakashi. I believe that we haven't even seen half of what he can do yet, said Hiruzen, as both men kept their eyes on the battle. Both Guy and Naruto then came to a stop. As Naruto rolled his neck, there was a smile in his face. This is what he loved. Fighting Riga was boring because the man relied too heavily on his blade. Naruto wanted a fight where the blood was pumping, where you felt the rush, the excitement, the joy of the battle. And this is exactly what he got from fighting his sensei, as Guy had that beam and smile on his face. Sensei, said Naruto, it's about time we keep this up a notch. If I keep on suppressing so much, you won't be able to see what I fully am capable of now. As Guy's smile just seemed to increase even more. Well then, Naruto-kun, he said, show me what you can truly do. As Naruto shook his head, Guy was confused by that. This is not gonna be like last time, Sensei, where you could easily knock me down. I'm afraid if you don't put in some effort, I'm gonna hurt you, said Naruto. Guy released a sizable chuckle at that. In fact, I think you will have to open the gates, said Naruto. As Guy was stunned. Your attitude always seemed to surprise me, Naruto-kun, he said. But if I have to push myself that far, I will know. But for now, why don't you show me what you're capable of? Alright then, said Naruto. Don't say I didn't warn you. As Naruto started to pull off his shirt. What is he doing, said Mito. Is he struggling, said Sasuke. As everyone watched as Naruto started to tug on his shirt a bit, before he lifted over his head. He was close to the ground, but when he threw it down, the earth cracked, surprising everyone, despite him being so close to the earth, as Naruto reached down and pulled off his black boots, as he then dropped them as well. As he wiggled his toes, as he flexed his arm, he bounced up and down, as he moved around a bit and kicked and punched. Lee rushed over to the scene. I'll get them away safely for you, Naruto, he said, as he reached down to pick up the shirt, as he realized it was a lot heavier than he expected. Naruto-kun, he said, how much are these, he asked. Well, the shirt is about 4 times what you're wearing. The boots, about 2 or 3, said Naruto. judging that you have increased your weight by the time I've been gone. As Lee was able to successfully pick up the clothing, but he had to put in effort. Lee was no crouch either, as he had on strong weights on his legs. But Naruto had far surpassed him in that path, it seems. It just gave him more vigor to increase his training and not give up. As Guy knew that Lee was completely different from Naruto. He had trained Lee to not take off his weights unless he was protecting someone precious, but Naruto did it for the fun of it. Naruto loved fighting more than anyone else on the team. Well, it's not like Neri or Neji were weights. As Lee scurried off the field and placed down the clothing and the boots, still surprised that Naruto was wearing this much, and yet he was still showing an impressive amount of speed. As he wondered what could Naruto do now. Alright, Sensei, said Naruto as he slipped back into his stance. I warn you, go easy on me, and you're gonna get hurt. As Guy smiled at Naruto's attitude, it was a fresh breath of fresh air. After all, with Naruto gone, Lee was the only one that wasn't. Well, the other two was just a bit difficult, yes, that was the word. As Guy motioned for Naruto to come, as Naruto vanished out of sight, Hiruzen and Kakashi noticed the ground. Something was barely touching it as Naruto appeared behind Guy. Guy spun around just in time, his reflex of years of training kicking in, as he brought his arm forward. As Naruto's feet connected against Guy's arm with such force, Guy was thrown back. Guy's foot were anchored down to the ground though, as the ground was ripped apart. As he was pushed back, his arm still locked in an X motion. As Guy removed his arm as he saw Naruto coming in for a fist, Guy reached out and grabbed Naruto's hand, but Naruto twisted his body and brought his leg over. Blam! The ground exploded under Guy as he was forced down to one knee. The entire training ground trembled. Guy pushed away Naruto as Naruto jumped away. Guy rubbed his shoulder as he flexed his arm, surprised by Naruto's strength increase. Well, Naruto did warn him. Guy heard movement as he turned and blocked a fist. He redirected to the side as he launched out with his own as Naruto blatted away. Naruto twisted his body as Guy was surprised by the movement. Guy reached in to grab Naruto, but Naruto deferred to the strike and reached into Guy's stomach, showing off his 6 months of training. His movements were a different style of fighting, one that he learned from Roshi. As a fist firmly slammed into Guy's guts, it wasn't anything normal. Neri, Neji, Lee's eyes widened. Also did the 3 kids over to the side. Guy was known as the strongest taijutsu user, and not to mention he had the speed and reflex to back it up. So for Naruto to easily get in his guard like that, it was kind of shocking. Guy was blown back by the force. He wasn't given a chance to recover as Naruto appeared in front of him. Punches and kicks were thrown so viciously. The ear seemed to be warping as Naruto was not. Pulling his punches it seems. Guy ducked as Naruto's feet cleave a tree in half. Guy was unprepared when Naruto landed on both of his hands and struck out with his legs, breaking Guy through several trees as he crashed into a sizable boulder in the forest. Guy returned a few scratches here and there. Guy felt his body was aching from Naruto punches. And strangely enough, Guy felt like Naruto was holding back. 6 months of training and Naruto was like a completely different person. Guy realized that he couldn't take Naruto like this. Naruto had gone out of his way to show him what he can do. It's about time that he start to add in some more effort as well. As he crossed his arm together in an X motion, a smile came on Naruto's face. Kakashi was surprised. He was really gonna use it, as Kakashi was impressed by Naruto's growth to push Guy this far. First gate. Gate of opening. Open! As the power of Guy started to exude. Second gate. Gate of rest. Open, Guy said. As he kicked it one step further. Gate of life. Open! Guy stopped right there as he moved. As Naruto moved as well. The two of them were like a blur on the battlefield, causing destruction. Neri had to activate her Byakugan and so did Neji. Whoa, they're awesome. said Sasuke, as he couldn't believe the sheer output of power. And this was just taijutsu alone. Told you my brother is awesome, said Mito as she covered her face, as rocks and debris were sent sailing everywhere. As the two tanks clashed all over the battlefield, the place started to tremble. It felt like the entire village was trembling. On the other hand, as Guy diverted a fist, as Naruto's fist hit the ground, boom! The ground exploded in a show of rocks and debris everywhere. Guy was startled as Naruto started to put more vigor in his punches. Guy's mind was completely shocked to the fact that Naruto was keeping up with him. In the third gate, as a whitish aura started to exude from Naruto's body, as Guy and him started to up their speed, as Naruto seemed to not be reaching his limit anytime soon. Guy landed some brutal punches as he realized that Naruto could take it. He wanted to see what his student could really do. Guy jumped back as he crossed his arms once again as he pushed it even further. As Naruto smiled, as he spat blood from his mouth, his sensei was finally showing him what he can do. Yeah, keep on pushing me, said Naruto. You told me yourself, sensei, everyone has a ceiling, but I'll just keep on pushing until I break through mine, said Naruto as he started to scream. As there was a primal roar that escaped his lips, the whole village started to shake uncontrollably. The aura from within Naruto exploded out in a chaotic way, forcing everyone to leap away from around them. As Kakashi jumped over, along with Hiruzen as they moved the kids, Nire, Lee, and Neji was able to jump back fast enough. The whole arena was shredded to pieces as Naruto kept on screaming to the heavens. A bright blue aura spreading from his core as Naruto pushed his power as he kept on increasing it. By the time Guy was done, he pushed it up to the 6th gate, the gate of joy, as he was nothing but proud admiration in Guy's eyes as he saw how far Naruto has come. Now, both men started to clash again. This time the battle had seemed to up the pace, as Hiruzen and Kakashi had to shield their face from the onslaught of destruction. Usually, when Guy and Kakashi fight, it wasn't this intense. Guy was using the 6th gate against a mere genin. Anyone else that might hear this in the village would think that it was preposterous. As several envoys landed beside Hiruzen, the captain stepped forward with Fox Mask as he alerted the Hokage that the village was in panic, thinking that they were attacked. As windows were broken, buildings were shaking uncontrollably. Neri couldn't believe what she was seeing. Lee did tell her that Naruto was strong, but this was not what she was expecting. Hiruzen realized that this was going a bit too far, as Naruto was just pushing himself farther and farther to meet Guy. Every punch there was another brutal one that Naruto threw. It became worse when another group of envoys arrived. As Hiruzen came onto the field, alright, that's enough, he said. Both men stopped as Guy's body was oozing that green cloak around him, as Naruto had a white cloak. As Naruto turned towards Hiruzen, his shirt was all torn up. So was Guy's vest. As Naruto turned his head towards the old man. What's wrong, old man? Can't you see that we're not done yet? I'm afraid that we'll have to call this match. You two are causing too much problem in the village. Well, especially you. As Hiruzen looked towards Naruto, he never knew that Naruto's power was this violent. As Mito came over, Big brother, she said, as she was completely at awe. Guy on the other hand, as the gate started to fade away, Lee rushed over, Guy Sensei. As Lee had tears in his eyes at what he just watched, he still couldn't believe it. Guy on the other hand was looking at Naruto with a shocked expression on his face. Guy could feel his body was sore. This was just 6 months of training, and Naruto was already strong. As Naruto powered down, as the cloak left him. Well, Sensei, said Naruto, I guess we'll have to postpone until we fight a proper training area. Yes, Naruto-kun, said Guy. I must admit, you proved me wrong. I didn't thought I would have to break into the inner gates to actually match you. But you destroyed and surpassed all of my expectations. As Guy started to cry in tears, he moved forward and hugged the boy, with nothing but joy. As Naruto was used to this kind of attitude from Guy. On the other hand, Kakashi was speechless. He was not expecting this one bit. This was something that he did not expect from Naruto. Yes, he was strong, but 6 months. 6 months of training allowed him to reach out to Guy's 6th gate. And it was not only that. They weren't done yet. If it wasn't for Hiruzen calling off the match, and the power that Naruto had released, it kept on growing and growing. As Naruto turned towards the old man and scratched the back of his head. Sorry about that, he said. I kinda let my power run wild. Got lost in all of the excitement of finally facing someone that's actually good at fighting, said Naruto. Hiruzen simply smiled, as he was proud of Naruto's achievement and his growth. But they couldn't fight here at Konoha. But he was still curious to see what Naruto could do. But that will have to wait, it seems. Although, time skip. Guy stood in the office by himself, as he was in there with Hiruzen. So, Kumo, said Guy, as Hiruzen nodded. Yes, 2 weeks. The Chunin exams will be held at Kumo. They have extended an invitation to us here at Konoha. I want to know if you feel like your team is ready to take on this responsibility. Guy was actually serious here. Well, in terms of power, they're all fit for Chunin. Naruto, on the other hand, even higher. When it comes to raw strength and his energy blasts, he's a force to be reckoned with. Soon enough, he's gonna surpass all of us, Hokage-sama. Hiruzen nodded at that. Naruto was an anomaly. Hiruzen knew that from the day that Naruto was crash-landed in Konoha, and he has proven that to be able to grow so fast in such short amount of time. And this would be great for the showing. Most people did not know that Naruto was the adoptive son of Minato. Well, to the world. Not to mention Naruto had no features of either Minato or Kushina, so people would not suspect that. Also, the incident with the Hyuga clan all those years ago. But it was the Raikage's followers that wanted to take the Byakugan, but the allegation had been denied on all fronts, forcing them to sacrifice a member of their own village, and that was young Neji's father. So that was a big concern here. But this would be a good showing for Konoha. Hiruzen had already selected a few other teams, and he believed that, well, Guy's team would be excellent for this event. So what do you think, Guy? Hiruzen asks. There's one thing that they're still lacking though, and that's teamwork. But when it comes to a mission, they're able to work together, even though, usually, different strategies and different way of thinking get in their way. But when they unite, they're a force to be reckoned with. Although, Neji, Naruto and Neri, they all see each other as they are the leaders. So 3 leaders are hard to be on one team. But I believe that this will be good showing for Konoha, Guy said, as he was insanely proud of his little squad despite them not getting along so well. I agree, Hiruzen says. He nodded. So, you agree to this? Asked Hiruzen, as he wanted to know what Guy think first. As Guy nodded, I will speak to my team about it, he said. As Hiruzen nodded back. Time skip. As Naruto sat in the training ground, his eyes were closed, as Naruto's mind was something that Roshi had teach him to work on. As Naruto was visualizing himself fighting his sensei and several other people, as he was doing some mind training, strengthening his mind, as it empowered and balanced out his spirit. Mito had spread the news at her academy, so by now most people had heard about the fight between Naruto and Guy. Many of them did not believe it. When they found out that Naruto was the one, him and Guy, that was shaking the village, people were shocked. Because Naruto was just a genin. For him to be able to keep up with the master of taijutsu within the village, that was rather surprising. Most of them even believed, even though he was the adoptive son of Minato, some of that prodigy leak off on him when it comes towards raw physical power, as everyone knew that he was going to be a powerhouse soon in the future if he was able to be this strong at such a young age. Mito had spread the news like crazy at the academy, as she was so impressed by her big brother. Even the normal stoic Sasuke was shocked. Hinata couldn't believe what she had saw that day, as Mito wasn't boasting for nothing. As Naruto stopped his mental training, when he felt someone arrive, training his mind and his senses, allowing to increase his field of vision. Even with his eyes closed, he could feel the person walking towards him, and he could search your feeling. They had no ill intent towards him, but the person did not like him that much. As Naruto cracked open the eye as he saw Neri, acting as elegant as ever, as she leaned up against the training post. She did not greet him as he did not greet her either, as their sensei had told him to meet up here, and they were currently waiting for him. Naruto closed back his eye. He had let his power slip when he was fighting Guy, forgetting for a moment what Master Roshi had taught him, and he nearly caused more problem for Konoha than good. Master Roshi told him that his power was a dangerous something when left unkept, and if he was to release it in a wild way, without proper ki control, he could end up destroying the entire place around him. As Naruto knew that he was strong, stronger than most, he had to control himself, and don't do anything rash. There was also several techniques he was working on, not to mention he has completely learned the technique that Master Roshi had taught him. It was a special technique that Naruto hasn't even broke out yet. It was quite destructive, but he was working on several techniques of his own. As Naruto could feel her looking at him as he cracked open his eye. She did not look away or look ashamed, she just kept on looking at him. "What?" said Naruto. As she scrunched up her nose, she refused to answer. As Naruto did not get it. He didn't know why he hated them or why they hate him. Well, it was because they were stuck-up arrogant pricks. But he barely knew her. They haven't even taught that much. They've been on a few missions. Luckily, they didn't have to be left alone. As Naruto sighed as he looked at her, she seemed to be annoyed for some reason. But as he searched her feelings, he could feel something else. Anger. But it was not directed towards him. "Why are you angry?" said Naruto. She looked towards him, as she had looked away for the brief moment. "What?" Her voice laced with disinterest. "You seem angry." She scoffed. "You know nothing about me. Don't try to understand me," she said. "You know, it wouldn't be so bad to understand each other. We are gonna be a team," said Naruto. She shook her head. "Not for too long. The Chunin exams are coming up." "Not here," said Naruto. "I know that. But, given our team standing, I believe that we will be sent out to show Konoha's strength. As much as I hate to admit it, as a brute you are, you're strong. And you will help drive our team. So I believe they will send us towards Kumo." There was some anger in her tone as she spoke about Kumo, as Naruto wasn't sure why though. "So, you're trying to say that we'll become Chunins very soon, so we don't have to become friends?" "Yes," she said. "Fine with me," said Naruto. "I'm glad. I hate you stuck-up pricks." "Well, I don't like you either, you brute," she said. It was then that Neji came walking along, as Naruto chose to ignore the both of them, as Guy and Lee came rushing towards the field as they came to a stop. "Alright everyone," he said. "Form up," as Naruto picked himself up. "Now, I was speaking to our dear Hokage," he said. "As all of you may know, the Chunin exams will be coming up in Kumo shortly, 2 weeks to be exact, and he has given me the go-ahead to bring you all to the village hidden in the clouds, and allow you to participate in the Chunin exams. What do you all say?" As he first turned towards Neji. "My skills is already above Genin level. Fate has brought this offer to me, for me to get promoted," Neji said, as Naruto scoffed at that response. Guy turned towards Naruto. "Well, it will be a good showing for Konoha, and for me to fight some different people," said Naruto. "So yeah, I'm in." He then turned towards Neri. "I would like to attend," she said, as he turned towards Lee. "Well, we are all going to show our bright flames of youth at the program, to show what Konoha is made of," said Lee, with a bright smile on his face. "With all my comrades we can show our flames will never be extinguished." Guy smiled at that, but then he frowned. I'm afraid that we can't participate though. As Naruto was confused by that. You guys have shown that you are unable to work together, and in these exams, mostly. You will have to show that you're capable of working together. But so far you have shown me that you cannot. So, it will be a waste bringing you here. Guys said hoping that this might spark something in them to work as a team. Neri clenched her fists, as she couldn't allow this. She already had her plan. Staying genuine for too long would just make things more difficult. Things that she didn't want. If it means that much to you, Sensei, we can get together, she said. As she turned towards Naruto, Naruto was surprised. I apologize for my earlier words. I would like us to work as a team to overcome this obstacle, she said. Neji was taken aback, as Naruto was surprised. She must really want to get off this team by becoming Chunin. He really wanted to see how strong Kumo ninjas were, and he also remembered that blonde. It would be a surprise for her to see him again in her village this time. As she extended a hand towards him, as Naruto reached out and took it. Yeah, we can work together, you see, Sensei? He felt her hands cringe up a bit. She didn't like this at all. But Naruto was just gonna push it to piss her off, as he pulled her in for a hug. Her face twisted nothing but anger, as he patted her on the back. You will pay for this, she whispered in his ear. Play along, or I blow your whole cover, said Naruto. I don't know why you're doing this, but I too want to fight some strong people. But guess that is not your reason as well, so yeah, play along. As she clenched her fist, clenching his palm that was in her hand, but she couldn't hurt him. They broke apart. As Guy smiled at that, what about you, Neji? As Neji turned towards Naruto with anger, but Neri gave him a look of pure rage, showing him that he should fall in line. She had never looked at him like that before. Not to mention he has never seen that look on her face before. She really wanted to take part in this exam. But Neji believed that fate will guide them there. Yes, I too can also accept this team as we are, Neji said, as he seemed to find the words hard to say. As Naruto extended his hand. Yeah, said Naruto, with an arrogant smile. We can do that, right? As Neji saw that look on his face, he was just doing this to piss him off. Neji clenched his fists as he took Naruto's hand. Yes, we can do that, he said. As his glare was wicked, Guy noticed the tension, but at least they're actually talking and holding hands. Lee was crying. Finally, my comrades are working together and not against each other, he said, as he had a big smile on his face. We can be civil when we want to, said Naruto. So Sensei, how about now? As Guy was happy as he pulled all of them into a hug. Neri frowned, but she just accepted it for now. We all are going to Kumo, he said. Time skip. Did you pack everything? The medical kit? As Mito tried to reach for Naruto's backpack. But Naruto grabbed her hand. Mito. I'm okay, he said. I packed everything. As he gave her a reassuring smile. As Mito released a sigh. But she was happy. As her brother was coming along quite well. She knew that it wouldn't take too long for him to become a Chunin. After what he had shown in fighting off against his sensei, she was just angry that she was still stuck in the academy. As she pouted, this is all your fault, you know? Huh? How so? You were the one that convinced the old man that I should take it easy and study all of the years. I could have been out already. But you have gained more experience from it, said Naruto, haven't you not? I guess, she said, but still, I could have been out already. As Naruto simply chuckled as he reached and ruffled her hair, she batted away his hand as he knew that she didn't like that. But his smile was just so contagious as it made her smile. Come on, if I hurry up and become a Chunin, by the time you're out of the academy, I can help supervise your missions and go on missions with you. Wouldn't you like that? You and your big brother on a mission, taking on the world. Of course I would like that, she said. But still, I still have a couple of months left. Come on, you'll be out pretty soon, said Naruto. Don't push yourself that hard. And by the way, we all know that you're the strongest in the academy. After you land on your team, you will just push through the ranks and probably even catch up to me with just your skills alone. You really believe that? Of course. You're my awesome little sister after all. As she puffed out her chest, I guess you're right. Now, be a good girl for me, okay? Said Naruto. Don't go causing unnecessary trouble. Come on, big brother, I'm not a kid, she said. You are a kid, said Naruto. Well, so are you, she said, as she stuck her tongue out at him and folded her arms, as that made Naruto chuckle. Of course I know, but I have to be the big one here. After all, I have to keep my little sister safe. But I want to keep you safe as well, she said. We both work together, that's how things work. Well, graduate from the academy, and we can both keep each other safe, said Naruto. She sighed, alright, fine. Remember to be careful. From all the things I've read, Kumo is not exactly cordial with Konoha, even though they're extending this friendship. Did you hear about the incident with the Hyuga? What? Said Naruto. Oh, your friend, Neji. He's not my friend, said Naruto. Oh yeah, she said. Well, his father got killed because of Kumo. Wait, what? Said Naruto. Yeah, she said. You see, some Kumo ninjas did some things in Konoha, and Konoha accidentally killed one of their ninjas, but it couldn't be proven that we were the ones that didn't strike first. And the head of the Hyuga clan was the one that killed a Kumo ninja, and because of a non-aggression pact, they wanted him. But at the last moment his brother switched place with him and took his place. His twin brother, Hisashi. Wait, Neji's father? Yeah. As Naruto looked down. Maybe that is the reason every time they spoke about Kumo, that look came on Neji's face. But that wouldn't explain Neri. Thanks for the information, little sis, he said. No problem, she said, as she was behind him by the time she spoke. Hey, what are you doing? As she was rifling through his bag. Just checking to see if you have everything. As Naruto sighed. It couldn't be helped. Time skip. After saying goodbye to his sister, as Naruto and his group was making their way, they were not the only one though. He only knew the other team, as they were being accompanied by Aoba, a glasses-wearing Jonin. He was with his team, a genuine girl that Naruto could actually get along with. Her name was Tenkin and she utilized the weapons, as he knew her from the academy. She was fun, easygoing, and nice to be around. She had two male team members. The first one was Renji. The boy had short black hair. He had a mark right under his chin that looked like a fang, showing that he was an Inazaka clan member. And the other member was also Inazaka. The two boys were brother, and they were twin, Renji and Kenji. They called themselves K and T, as Naruto knew them as well. They were a bit hyperactive, and they were fun to be around as well. They kind of dressed the same way, in their brownish clothing. They both specialized on their family style, and they had two dogs with them. So, said Naruto, as he was moving beside Tenten, how are you getting along with your team? Tenten gave Naruto a brief smile. They were good friends in the academy, unlike most of the boys. Most of them saw her as tomboy or something else because she used weapons and used a different style of fighting, but Naruto was always nice to her, and he became one of her good friends. Well, they're a bit too much for my taste. But after seeing what your team had to go through with that sensei of yours, and not to mention his copy, as she looked towards Lee, I'm grateful for them. As for my sensei Aoba, he is calm but he's a stickler for the rules. Well, as long as you're doing good, said Naruto. As they were the only two teams that were sent by Konoha, the rest of this year graduates were not up to that level yet. Their Jonin senseis did not put them, well, for testing. When night came, they had to come to a stop. They weren't near to any town, so they had to hike it out. Luckily, all of them brought their gears, as it was currently night time. As Naruto was currently sitting up in a tree, he couldn't sleep. He was excited. Kumo was said to have the fastest man on the planet. Well, know that his father was not alive. The Raikage was said to be the fastest man on this planet, and Naruto was beyond intrigued to meet him. Well, he didn't know if he would meet him personally, but his village was known to have strong, powerful warriors. It was a shame though, after fighting Guy, Naruto doubted that most of them would be as strong as Guy, but he indeed wondered if there was any prodigies that might be as powerful or even stronger. His blood was pumping at the aspect of fight. Having a nice battle always got his blood pumping. Sometimes he wondered if protecting Mito and a good fight is all that he wanted to be a ninja for, and sometimes that seemed to be the case. Yes, he was all in for protecting Konoha, but a good fight always seems so enticing. As Naruto looked down as he spotted, as Neri was making her way, she didn't seem to notice him, as he sat in the tree calmly. He watched as she made her way, as the leaves hide his presence a bit and his figure, as she calmly sat down nearby a river over to the side. She just sat there, unmoving, as she just sat there not doing anything. As Naruto noticed that she was frowning, he felt all kinds of emotions coming from her. Sadness, grief, anger, rage, unbearable rage that she was keeping in. It seems there was more to this girl than she was letting on. As Naruto watched her as she tightened her fist, before she slammed it in the ground several times, cracking it. She seemed to be really angry. As he wondered what was going on there, he watched her for a moment. As her Byakugan sprang to life, without turning she noticed him. As she growled, pulled out a kunai and she threw it, as Naruto caught the object. As he jumped out of the tree, "Why are you watching me?" she said. As she was angry, incredibly so. "I wasn't watching you," said Naruto. "I was just sitting here and you came by." As she looked towards him with disdain. "Whatever you saw, you didn't see anything, huh? That doesn't really make sense," said Naruto. As she started to walk away. "Hey." She paused. "What is it? I do not have time to waste with you. You know you can be a bit nicer. I'm the one who made this whole thing possible after all. Since it wasn't going to let us come because we couldn't work together, I could have blown that whole thing. But you won't, because you love to fight," she said to him. "So you thought you used me," said Naruto. "My love for battle. Well, a commoner must always be used," she said. "Enough with this commoner bullshit," said Naruto. "I can tell that you're angry. You feel a lot of regret and sadness. You know nothing about me. I've told you before that. Stop trying to find out or learn about me." "Well, I'm not trying to, but you keep on popping up everywhere. And if we're gonna do this, we might as well work as a team. Because what if there's something that we have to do as a team? Us not working together might make us lose the exam and go back home as disgraceful ninjas. Do you really want that?" As Naruto saw, she frowned and looked down. "Fine. I will be willing to work with you, as long as you keep your mouth shut." "Then how are we supposed to communicate, you idiot?" "Don't call me an idiot," she said. "You know, just like all of them," said Naruto. "Stuck up stupid Hyugas. Do not lock me in with them," she said. As Naruto felt anger resonate from her, before she calmed herself. "What? Aren't you a Hyuga as well?" As Naruto kept himself calm, she started to walk away, as he dropped in front of her. "Look, sorry. Seems I hit a nerve or something. You don't like me and I don't like you. But we can at least work together for now. So we can do this. What do you say? Friends until this is over?" As he extended his hand, she batted it away. "I will never be friends with you. But I'm willing to work with you for the sake of this, so that we can become Chunins and move on. Well, so that I can become a Chunin and move on from this damn exam. So I won't have to be a team with you anymore." As Naruto sighed. "It's never anything easy with you Hyugas, huh?" As she frowned once again, but Naruto chose to ignore it. "Always think that you're better than people." "Well, I am," she said, a small smirk. As Naruto looked at her. "You know, maybe if you stop being such a bitch and smile more, people actually comment you on your looks. Because you're actually cute." As she frowned, "Like I would need someone like you to tell me that." As she walked by him, Naruto dropped to the ground as he looked up to the starry sky as he watched her leave. He didn't know what this feeling was. He really hated ninja attitude, but on her, he kind of liked it. He didn't know why. Well, it helped that she was strong as well. That seemed to be the case. He seemed to like strong women. He shrugged, as he made his way to get some sleep. The rest of the travel was uneventful. Talks, sitting at hotels, camping, nothing more. Until they finally got to the village. They had arrived a day before the exam began. As Naruto was surprised by the village. It was not what he was expecting. It was all mountains. There was a massive kind of, it looked like an ice cream cone. As he was in the middle of the village, he guessed that is the Kage's tower. The more they go up, the more shorter the ear came. As they were going high up, really high it seems. Kumo was built inside of mountains. The civilians on the lower level, while the ninjas and the Raikage's tower were up more higher. Well, it was surely an interesting village. The group were escorted towards a hotel, where the competitors will be staying. As Naruto saw several different people from several different villages, Taki, and several other villages. As he was looking at the Taki team, a girl with mint green hair saw him. She had orange eyes, as she waved at him. As Naruto was surprised at her being so friendly. He didn't know why, as she made her way off with her team. He saw a team from the stone as well. As Naruto knew about his father and their relationship, it would be best to not let them know anything. Well, if they try anything, he would put them down. As he was going to be defeated because of something his father did in war that was expected of him. As he saw several more teams. Whoa, said Tenten. There's a lot of them. Yeah, said Naruto. You're happy about this, said Tenten, as she saw him actually smiling. Well, a lot more mean a lot more to fight. As Tenten shook her head, I never get your infatuation with fighting so much. It's fun and enjoyable, said Naruto. And I'm also ready to test out a few things that I have also trained myself to do. Like what she said. You will see, said Naruto, it's a surprise. Well then, guess I'll just wait and see, she said. As Lee came up to Naruto. It's quite a lot, isn't it, Naruto-kun? Yeah, it is, said Naruto. As Aoba and Guy called him as they move. As they passed by many teams, as Naruto could feel the oppressive aura as he walked. Everyone was giving him a look. People were not trustworthy of anyone, it seems, as he looked and turned towards everyone. As Naruto saw the Kumo ninjas, just because this was their village, as he saw a few Kumo Jonins pass by. A man was rather bulky, skin darkish as he gave Naruto a rather harsh glare. But Naruto found it amusing. His stare did not frighten Naruto one bit, as he chose to focus on the others who were passing by. Several people indeed. Hey guy sensei, said Naruto. Can I go and check out the village, he asks. As Naruto was curious about Kumo. As long as you don't get in trouble and stray too far away, said Guy. Oh, don't worry, I won't, said Naruto, as he made his way off. Aoba looked towards him. Guy, do you really think that he's wise? I mean, we're not exactly from here. Well, they were the ones that extended the hand of friendship towards Konoha to offer us to join this exam. I doubt they would do anything to ruin this trust. And Naruto is a well-behaved kid. If you do not force him into anything, he will not do anything bad. But what if they do? Well, said Guy, he knows restraint. Aoba sighed. Meanwhile, as Naruto was looking around, as he marked the hotel where to go back to. As Naruto was looking at the sights, he had to get something for Mito here, a souvenir. The place was magnificent. It was not just the high buildings, it was the place. It was just different. Completely different from Konoha, and he found it quite interesting. As he made his way, unsure where he was going, as he passed through a market district, the place was bustling with activities. Maybe it was because of the tuning exams going on here, or not, he did not know. As Naruto made his way, moving along with the crowd, as he followed a few people, as he saw various different areas, buildings that were carved into the side of mountains. The design was so unique. As Naruto was lost in the sight, he just kept on walking, and walking and walking and walking, until he got lost. What the hell? Naruto found himself in a rocky, strange area. The place was destroyed. There was no trees or anything, just broken barks. Old, dried up leaf on the ground. The earth was cracked and destroyed violently. Whoever trained here must be intense. As I got Naruto smiling. As he looked around. You know, it's not very nice to enter a village and just commandeer someone's training ground without asking any questions. As Naruto had felt someone enter, but he wasn't sure if he was supposed to be here and, well, he didn't want to make a scene. Well, you see, I kinda got lost. Sorry about... Naruto paused. As he noticed the woman, her dull brown hair. It was more goldish, but it was dull. It was her. The sensei of the team that he fought. As Yugito looked at Naruto head to toe. It's you, she said. As she remembered that boy that had saved Samui. Samui had not stopped talking about how powerful he was and how easily he took on Riga. But Yugito had noticed something else, his name, Namikaze. It was the name of Minato Namikaze. She had informed the Raikage about this, who knew that the man had a son and daughter, but he was not sure what they looked like. But judging from Naruto's appearance, he must have get it all from his mother, alright? Yugito thought. Well, seems like we did meet again, said Naruto. As she looked down towards his headband, that nail it right in the coffin. Konoha. It seems we do, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. As Naruto was confused, why did she say his full name? He didn't even know her name. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, guys, go ahead and check out the brand new series over in Anime King 2 of What If Naruto was in prison and sealed away for 18 years. And enjoy that, guys. Brand new series for you guys to enjoy. And remember, for anyone this is the first time you hear my voice, stick around and stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way over on Anime King. That's right, I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support, and yeah, I'm over now. See you guys soon. Peace.